Okay, what is spiritual psychosis from a spiritual perspective? Um, there are a lot of dimensions that you ascend through, and depending on the pathing of your growth journey, you could go through them in different orders. But a dimension where a lot of people get trapped is the mirror dimension. And in the mirror dimension, you see reflections of yourself. And it becomes very difficult to navigate that space because um, you get lost in seeing yourself through other people, through other expressions. There's this like almost like a toxic sense of convergence and unity that you find yourself in, where you can see yourself expressed in um, every journey, right? Because you start to understand that we are one consciousness that is been um, kind of under an illusion of separation. But what is just as dangerous as the illusion of separation is the union of complete unity. And it's like there's an understanding that even the sense of unity is at one sense of a pole of separation. And so um what it like looks like on the 3D plane is that you can resonate with a lot of different experiences as if they were your own experience. And then when you add in something like TikTok, which can feed you information, readings about like situations that are similar to yours, you can like fall into that trap of like seeing connection everywhere. Because yes, there is connection everywhere, but like, no, not like that. Not like that though, because and it's tricky too because there are some conspiracies that are very deep, very pervasive, very expensively covered. I'm not trying to like say that you don't have spiritual significance or importance, or that people aren't coming after you and trying to hurt you. I'm just saying that like the trap of the mirror dimension is that like you start to sacrifice your own sense of self, and you start to try to translate yourself into the version of you that you see in the mirror. You start to identify with that mirrored version more than your real identity. And what happens is you start to neglect your personal truth in favor for the truth that you're seeing in front of you. And um, when we're talking about using our phones, which are mirrors, literally I'm looking at a mirrored version of myself as I talk about this, is that it is far easier to not only fall in that trap but stay in that trap and not like move through further spaces of ascendance, because your aura is like um, toxically blended with all these other energies that are kind of like yourself. And I think in order to like escape the mirror dimension, there is this understanding of unity that is pervasive, but you have to understand it by degrees, right? Like my personal case is that I've been getting gang stalked, but for a while I was using facts from certain readers to kind of like fill in some of the blanks of my story when I wasn't quite realizing that I had like actual factual information of all of it, and there was nothing left to fill in, and that it just kind of sucked just at like the base level of my personal understanding. And by taking in these mirrored or very similar experiences in as my own, it made me seem crazy because at that point there was too much shit going on. I had enough shit going on without adding to that shit. And what happened when I started to like embrace my understanding is this like, oh, all of this makes sense. Why would I be stressed about any of this when I know exactly what's going on? I don't need any more information. I don't need to validate myself with a mirror. And it created a greater sense of personal power and a stronger sense of divinity, and it kind of sent me through the other areas of that journey. Um, am I personally well versed on other dimensions to the point of explaining them in their traits that are as tangent and clear as I can speak of the mirror dimension? Not really, because I was trapped in the mirror dimension for a long time. So, and even before it started to get spiritual psychosis-y, like it was a doozy. And I almost remember the day that I got trapped in it too. It was like a lot. Um, but I watch Fairy Oracle's streams a lot. She does a lot of scrying about the different realms, and I highly recommend that you check her out. I'm gonna try to add at her so you can get some information that way, because I feel like the way that she speaks is very clear, and then she always backs it up with resources that are really like well researchers, read well documented sources for the most part. So um good luck getting out of there, bitch. It's crazy in there.